So as we already explained over here itself in the graphical representation, we have created state means where you need to write your entire program, because you have to create the logic for that particular program to execute the entire program. And what is meant by ready state? This will executable state means once you completed your program, then the entire program has to be operated on based on sequential execution. So the statements 1, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, or it may having the more length also, but I have taken over here itself as an example of 5 statements only. So those 5 statements should reach the ready state in sequential manner only, like S1, S2, S3 and S4, S5. So each and individual statement has to reach the ready state in sequential manner only. So next one is ready list. List is nothing but I have a list of statements S1, S2, statement 3, statement 4 and statement 5. So in my list I have only 5 statements. For example, my program having 6 statements, then I will go for a 6, or else I have a 10 lines of a program, then I will go for 10 statements. Depends upon the program how much that you have created over here itself. The length of the program is always has to be displayed over here itself in ready list. So next, once the statement is getting ready, what will happens? It has to reach the first running state. So where you need to operate the logic. Where you need to operate the entire logic is in running state. But once running state, it has to operate entire logic and it will check the priority of statements in between the statements. I have S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. I need to check the priorities in between all the statements. And next one is blocked state or waiting state. So whenever it needs any one of the IO support, it means the statement. For example, S3 will expect some IO support. Then S3, while S3 reaches in running state, then S3 will came to know that it needs some IO support. So due to that, S3 will reach us to blocked state or waiting state, and then only it is going to be operated over here itself only by using either input or output modules or devices. Once it is completion, then it will reach the ready state. There again it has to check the priorities of previous statement or next statement with the blocking states. So here it is, transition completed. Transition completion means the execution of that particular statement only, not entire program. S1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Any one of the statement has to be executed over here itself. And state transition means entire program from S1 to S5. If entire program is a transition and operated entire this operation, then one state is transitioned from one state to another statement. And this is the process management, the what you have learned up to now in just like a algorithm. So first one, I need to create a process. That's what exactly that you need to write a program. Next one is I need to create some memory space for the process. That's my ready state. So this is my create state. So when I am creating any one of the memory space means I am making ready of each and individual statement wise programs, and then I load the process code and in memory space. So I'll fill this ready state with my statement 1 to statement 5s, and then allocating the system resources. That's how I am executing my process in running state, and setting up the PCB process control block. So this is my block statement, and the last version is process termination, means execution entirely completed. Once it is completed the execution, then obviously the execution of that particular process is going to be terminated. So next one is thread. So as I have already told you that, what is meant by thread? So I have a task, and task has to be notated with A only. So this entire task is partitioned like process 1, process 2 and process 3. So for each and individual process can be T1, T2 and P2 can be 3 partitions. So T3, T4 and T5, and P4 can be only one, that is T6. So for executing this entire task, one task I need, so one task, for executing this entire one task I need 3 processes. For executing these entire 3 processes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 threads, right? So thread is a part of a process and a process is a part of a task. For executing this entire task, I need to complete the execution of T1 to T6 number of threads. By executing these 6 number of threads, I can finish my task A. So this is the thread structure. So as you already know this, what is meant by stack memory? I'm already told you now. So it is having like a memory register, so which will comes first in, that will be executed in last out, or which will push the last in and it will come first out. So both the operations are correct to state the stack operation. For example, I have T1 like T1, T2, T3, T4 and T5. I have 5 number of threads filled with stack. Then I need to execute any one of the statement, like thread 3 I have to execute. Then I need to perform 3 operations. First one is I have to pop up the T5 and then pop up the T4, and then only I'll pop up the operation with T3. Up to that extent it has to wait. So it's just like a stack memory only. Once the thread 1 is used over here itself, means the execution of thread 1 is completed. Then obviously this thread 2 will replace with thread 1. Then obviously this one is empty because I have segregated the process into 2 types of threads on 2 threads only. So this is my T1, this is my T2. So initially I have operated with the thread 1 and thread 1 is executed. Then the memory location of T1 will getting empty. Then T2 will replace it with T1. Then T2 will becomes empty. Then the occupancy of area is getting increased. Like I already told you in process structure, the stack memory is nothing but the registers or the data which is available with this stack. When you are using any one of the data, then that particular memory location will becomes empty. For example, if I use over here itself memory location 2, then the memory location 2 will becomes an empty place. Then T3 will replace So first one is the T1, T2 I'm already used, so T3 will get over here itself, and T4 and T5, and the topmost location will becomes empty. But if it is a queue, there is no possibility to replace this statement this memory location 2 with memory location 3. If it is a stack only, it is possible to replace the memory locations. So this is one of the example to execute the task. So as you already know about of code memory, which is consisting only coding part, or this what we are qualified as logic. Next one is the data part, means having fixed values. Fixed values like integers and variables. That could be varies from A to Z. So this entire memory is my stack memory. Thus entire memory is my stack memory. This is what stack, stack and stack. And here we have registers. What is these registers? When any one of the process is executing under process, then we are using registers are working registers. So there is no use with these registers, only temporary storage purpose only. Okay, now this is entire my stack memory. I have here declared as thread 1, thread 2 and thread 3. So I have 3 threads. So first I have write a program, and between that or before that I'll first execute my thread 1, means void main, and it is creating a child with the thread 1, creating the thread with null, and it has to store with 1000. And I have to create one more child, that is child thread 1, and this can be read with transition ID of that particular thread. What is the ID? This one, #1, thread 1. So for executing this particular thread 1, I need to execute thread 2 also. Then I need to create one more thread, and this thread has to be executed under thread 1 only. So memory location should be matches with this one and this one. Same statement, I have to create one more statement, so which is having a thread and which will be filled with null, and having it has to consisting with 1000 number of memory locations or characters. So that particular child thread 1 has to read the ID. Again, what is the ID? This is here, the ID is 2, means first it has to execute, and the corresponding output of thread 2 will read by this ID, and then only thread 1 will execute. So this is entirely, we call it of as one process, only one process. But here I am using thread 1 and thread 2, 2 threads I am using. So for these 2 threads, I need to declare this thread 2 as separate program. So the same program has to be mentioned over here itself. So thread 2, it is a child thread 1, and it has to do something. It has to do something. What is that something? It has to read the ID of this one, and the corresponding ID memory location has to be refilled with the thread 1. And again, if I need thread 3, I need to create one more child thread 2, and it has to perform some operations. Then I need to write and extend this program to like create child thread #3. So that could be, if I would like to add the third one over here itself, create child, and this one thread 2. So th, so I am creating one more thread, so thread 3, and creating my thread, and which is a subthread of p1. So p1 has the location of creating the thread. Create null having 1000 memory locations means I am creating one thread extra which is having the values of these 1000 values, right? And then child thread 1. So this is already having child thread, this is child thread 1, and this one is also operating on based on child thread 1 only. And then again it has to read the ID of child thread 1, this one. Why? Because for executing the entire operation, I have written one program over here itself. So this particular thread, let it be 1, has to be operated in thread 2. So this is my thread 2. If I want to subprogram one more, then this is thread 3. The entire thread 3 output will becomes an input for T2. Based on if T3 only executed, then only T2 will operate, then only T1 will operate. Until and unless T3 is operating, T2 and T1 has to be in waiting state only. Once T3 is completed the execution, then it will be the input of T2. Then only T2 will start to execution. T means thread. Once T2 also execution completed, then that will becomes an input for T1, thread 1. Then if T1, T2 and T3, 3 threads completed the execution means then my process 1 is completed. Up to that extent, each and every thread has to wait. But what is the advantage? Whenever you are subprogramming the entire program, it is easy to find the errors and execution delays. Internal program wise or internal thread wise execution delays may reduces, but while we are comparing with the entire program, delay may be introduced, because until and unless T3 executed, T1 and T3 are in has to be in executed state only. Thank you.